Hello, today we are exploring loops, a way to repeat tasks without repeating yourself. This is super useful when you want to process items in a list, or print something multiple times, or even break out of repetition when a condition is met. We will learn about for loops, range function, looping through lists and strings. We will learn how to use breaks and continue, some extra tools like enumerate and zip, and a few beginner mistakes to avoid. So let's jump right in. First of all, let's understand what exactly is a loop. So a loop in programming lets you repeat a block of code multiple times instead of writing. So let's give it an example here. So I want to print hello world, but I want to print this like multiple times. Let's see, I want to print it 3 times, right? When I'm running this is going to print hello world 3 times. But to avoid writing this multiple times, we can do a for I in range, and we can insert here 3, print hello world. And if I run this is also going to print hello world 3 times. This way, your Python code will stay clean, short, and also smart. Now that I showed you the for loop, I think we can start with a for loop. So let's see, for example, how this works. So this is the most basic loop in Python. We can use it in order to repeat a code multiple times. For example, for I in range of 5, I want to print I. This is going to print me all the numbers from 0 to 4. Because in total, here are 5 numbers, but starting from 0, that means it only goes to 4. Range gives you number from 0 up to, but not including 5. And if you want it to start from different number, you can also do that. So for example, if I want to start from 3 to 5, for example, and I'm printing this, you will see it only print 3 and 4. We can even add a step. For example, if I want to print from 1 to 10, but only the second number, I'm doing this, and it will print only 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now let's say I want to iterate through a list, for example. Let's create a list of fruits where we have apple, banana, and let's add one more, which is cherry. In here, we want to iterate through this list. So for this, we use for fruit, which is a variable. I can name it anything. In fruits, because this is the name of my list, don't forget the colon, and I can print fruit. And this right here will print all the fruits from my list, as you can see here. What's cool about this is that we can also do this with string. For example, if I add my name here and I will print this, you will see that the fruit will have, for each iteration, one of these characters. First will be B, second will be O, G, D, and so on. This will give us the opportunity to create different projects. So for example, I want to check how many vowels are in my name. So let's switch this to my name, and let's change this to name and this to character. So if I want to check how many vowels are there in my name, I have to create the vowels variable, and in here I'm going to say if character in vowel, then I'm creating a counter which is equal to 0 initially, and after that, for each time we encounter a vowel, we will do counter plus equal 1. So I'm adding 1 every time I'm seeing a vowel. And in the end, if I'm going to print the counter, you will see that this will print the amount of vowels that I have in my name. But also, going back to my list, in here, we can also do, for example, if fruit equal to banana, I want to do something. What exactly? Well, I want to keep banana as the value for my fruit. So I'm using break. Break is going to stop the for loop, and in this case, I will only have the fruit going only to banana, no longer to cherry. So now if I'm printing fruit, you will see that in this case, it will only print apple, because when the variable will be banana, I'm checking if that happens, and I'm going to break the for loop. But if I want to continue, even if I see banana in my list, then I can use continue. And in here, this one will just tell the computer that it can continue looping through the list. And as you can see, I'm now printing apple and cherry and no longer banana, because I'm saying if the fruit is equal to banana, then just continue, don't print anything. Let's play a little bit. Try writing a loop that prints number from 1 to 10, but skips 5 and stops at 8. Can you do that? Pause the video and try it yourself. Another cool thing about for is that we also have else. How is that? Well, I'm going to print here fruit, right? And after I'm printing everything, I can also do else, which is going to print either way. So all fruits are printed. As you can see, the else will then happen after the for loop is ending. And as you can see, I'm printing apple, banana, and cherry, and after all, the else is going to be triggered, which says all fruits are printed. We can also iterate through the index, not only through values. How can I do that? Well, let's say for I in range of fruits, but in this here, I want to get the length of the fruit, right? And by using range and length of the fruit, this is going to have a range of 0 to the length of the string, of the list. And in here, let's say I want to print, for example, I. In this case, it will print me the indexes of each element. So apple will have index 0, banana will have index 1, and cherry will have index 2. Now, in order to get the value from that particular index, we can use indexing, which we learned previously. So I'm doing fruits of I, and in this case, you will see that it's going to print the values instead. But if I want to also have the index along with the values, then I'm going to use something like this. And as you can see, it will get me index 0, which has value but apple, index 1 having the value banana, index 2 having the value cherry. But we have even cooler way of doing this. For example, if I want to use enumerate, which is a very cool function in Python, I'm going to use for index, fruits, which is basically unpacking system in enumerate, and inside here I'm going to pass my list, then I'm going to print index and fruit. Because what's happening here, oops, this is fruit, not fruits. Because in here, now index basically has this value that I was printing here, and fruit now has the value of the item. And if I'm printing this, as you can see, it's going to print me the exact same thing. Another cool function is zip. Let's go over zip. So what zip does is gives you the ability to combine two lists. So for example, if I have a list with names, for example, Anna, Ben, and Kara, and another one with scores, which is 90, 88, and let's say 95. I'm going to put this in a list as well. And now, if I want to combine the two lists, I'm going to use a for name and score, another unpacking, in zip of, let's say, for example, names and scores this time, right? With enumerate, I was only looking into one list. Now with zip, I'm going to go over two lists simultaneously. So I'm going to print f, for example, a formatted string, which I have name and got score. And in here, this f should go here. And now if I'm printing this, you will see that Anna got the number, Ben got the score, and Kara got the score. So basically, I'm iterating through two lists simultaneously, getting the names and the scores, and then being able to print them together. This works great when looping through paired data, for example. And that's it for today. Let's do a quick recap. So we went over for loops. We learned about range function. We learned how to loop through lists and strings. We know how break and continue works. We learned about else, which is available for loops. We learned about enumerate function and zip function, and we even had an exercise. So let me see your code from the exercise down in the comment section. Don't forget to practice. Try looping over your own list, adding conditions, or writing small guessing games. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button. Let me know down in the comments if you think I can improve in any way, and we will see you in the next video.